Storyteller. Corporate storyteller. Let me tell you this. A few years ago, there was an article in a newspaper where they introduced me as the first corporate storyteller of the Benelux. You know, I immediately posted the article on my website and I was so proud that I instantly called my wife and said, honey, you know what? I just got published in a Belgian newspaper and they're calling me the first corporate storyteller of the Benelux. Well, she said like, okay, good for you. When are you finally get a decent job? Now, if you Google and Google Trends business storytelling, you will see this. It's not a manipulated line. Huh? Here's where I started my business. No, it's not true. I actually started my business in 2007. This is 2007. This is 2009. This is 2011. Okay? So what you see here, the combination of business and storytelling is quite new. People that are Googling about it. And in my experience, I feel that in working with companies, it's different than 2007. I was preaching to a desert. Today, there is more connection. Why? Why? Why do people Google business and storytelling in combination now more often in 2011 and not before? Why? Why today? What's the context? In what world are we living? That today it is different. Of course it is different. Why? Yeah, good point. I'm going to write it down. Good point. Meaning, every product has become a commodity. I don't know in your business, but by saying this is what we do, and this is how we do it, won't make the difference with your competitor. I know who's actually literally in sales. Everybody's in sales. But who's doing sales? Okay. Do you feel that is true or not? Challenge me. Do you say, with my products and services, when I go to a client and I say what we do and how we do it, bingo. Alright. Why was I constantly thinking, for those who've seen the movie, the others can't respond to that. For those who've seen the movie, why was I constantly thinking about Jordan Belfort and the Wolf of Wall Street and making this presentation on storytelling with people? Yeah?
Yeah, because the way they depict him in the movie, I don't know the real story, part of his success is really the way he tells his story or he talks to people, when he gives speeches, it's very inspirational. When he sells something to a client, it's very compelling. So I think, yeah, it's a good example of.
Okay, good, thanks. Actually, that's half of the reason. The other half is, it's a very bad example sometimes of storytelling. The other half is, it's a very good example. This gets you inspired, right? Why is this good or bad? Maybe there are some positive things to say, and I think there are, and maybe there are some negative things to say, and there possibly are. I don't know. Plus, minus. Okay, don't be shy here. Yeah.
I think it's really positive. You feel the passion of doing it.
Okay. The story is always like this. You have a beginning, it goes to a climax, there's an end, and something unexpected happens. A tree-arc structure. Now, if you look at a lot of movies, you have very different styles of formats that you can use in telling stories. They're all related to the beginning, middle, and end. And there is a start of that. You feel like somebody said, something's going to happen. There is a start where he takes me in. He even uses a metaphor to suck you in what he's wanting to say. Now you would say, okay, what has this to do with me? These are three professional storytellers. They do this as a profession. I'm just a sales rep. I'm just a marketing manager. I'm just a business manager in a company. I don't work in that kind of environment. Now, let me ask you this. Who of you went to school longer than is 18 years? you is working more than 10 years in whatever company? Game over. Game over. Forget about it. Your storytelling ability is dead.
Zolang dat maar zit, vind ik een heel goed example om duidelijk te maken wat het eigenlijk
I want to have two final words here. One, it is not as difficult as it may seem now. Because looking back at your experiences, you're full of stories. Stories that you have with your clients. Stories that you experience in your personal life. In whatever context, the anecdotes are there. Use them, but use them wise in a business context. Meaning, look at them differently than you had before. Look at them and saying, if I'm going to make a business point of a value, of a vision, even of a product, what story that I have in me can I use to bring that to life? Because that's actually what you're doing. They're there. If I do a workshop around this, normally people would say, I don't have any stories. Everyone says that. When the day finishes, we have multiple and too much stories to work with. So that's lesson one. You're there and it's not difficult because you have been doing it for years. Lesson two, it is more difficult than you think. Don't kid yourself. It's more difficult than you think. So actually take time to write down your stories.